don't have the technology or the steady.
3, 2, 1, and we are live. Welcome, ladies and gents, to the American Movie Podcast. This is your host, Matthew Benjamin. I'm so stoked because we get to go over Black Mirror. Black Mirror just dropped a couple days ago, and I finished the entire series. And okay, if you've never seen Black Mirror, it's the best damn show I've ever seen. Okay, it's the best damn series I've ever seen, and part of it is because it's anthology, and anthology is there's no consistency within the narrative between each individual episode. You get a new sequence of events, a new environment, new people the entire time, and all of the topics are incredibly thought-provoking. And if you've never seen it before, you've got to check it out. And I would start with, there's a lot of violence and gore and a lot of just different scenarios everybody are put in, and you're going to feel uncomfortable when you watch this show. I do anyways, because you are put into ethical and moral situations that you don't really know what you would do in those situations. So what I would do is start with season 4. I would start with Hang the DJ. Hang the DJ has very little violence. There's no violence into it. And I think it's a good introduction to the universe that is Black Mirror. So I would check out Hang the DJ. But I'm going to individually go through each episode in other videos as well, and I'm going to lightly touch on each individual ones here as well, and like some of my favorite ones, some of my least favorite ones, and some of the just catastrophically morally corrupt ones. So without further ado, let's get to it. So we got the USS Callister. USS Callister was the first one I watched. I watched it in all in order. So USS Callister, it's about this guy who's created this technology, and I don't want to spoil it too much. So I found this one insane just because it touches on consciousness and suffering and what you actually dignify as a human personality, and then also the internal dialogue of someone who's been taken advantage of. So they just seek out refuge, kind of like when you play a video game and you're just kind of blowing off steam because your boss says something, or like GTA. Like a lot of people play that because they're just blowing off steam. So I know that it's kind of like that inside of the USS Callister. And this was one of my favorite ones, but it was one of the most messed up ones too, just because, oh God, dude, I don't want to go into it. I'll go into a spoiler one. I'm going to go each individual episode, so I'll link all those down below as well. But the USS Callister, the very first one, it like grabs you by the collar and is like, hey, this is season 4, get ready. So then we got Archangel. Archangel was one of the most frustrating, I would say, because it goes upon parenting, and then the actual getting permission on something so intricate of like your perspective and your health and your vitals and pretty much what you interact with as a child, taking that away before the child's even, right upon the nascent stage of the child being born. So you get that, and then that already sets you up. Like she gets implanted something in her mind, and you can it's just like the biggest Big Brother Overwatch thing with good intentions, but it's also morally bankrupt as well. So you just get to see that, and then you get to see the growth of this little child becoming an adult and them dealing with this cognitive chip. So it's like really, it was really, really fascinating to see, and makes parenting look super complicated. So that one, Archangel, that one was all right. Not one of my favorites. USS Callister was one of my favorites. And then we got Crocodile. Crocodile was the most vicious and just most violent, I would say. The most violent. I would not recommend Crocodile if you've never seen Black Mirror at all. Just that would be a sheer, you'd be traumatized. You'd be like, what is this show? I can't watch another one of these. Like, I can't handle this. So I would say Crocodile is for the seasoned vets of Black Mirror. Like, if you've seen Black Mirror, you've kind of been coaxed and slowly introduced to this violent atmosphere of the universe of Black Mirror. So I would say Crocodile, don't watch if you've never seen it before, but as always, I'm going to go through all of them individually, and that's one of the most messed up ones I had seen, just because there's sheer murder and like just so much stuff going on inside Crocodile. So I would definitely recommend it if you have the stomach for it. That's what I would say. And then Hang the DJ was my favorite, just because it, well, I would say Metalhead and Hang the DJ were my favorite, but Hang the DJ is pretty much a operating system or an OS that allows you to find the perfect match. Okay, what if they could somehow find the perfect match for you, and you could, with no question, absolutely, it's a 99.8% success rate. Would you do it? So what they do, I don't want to spoil it. So what would you sacrifice for that? Like years and years upon your life trying to find this significant other. What would you do? What would you do to know for a fact the person that you're paired with? Through an operating system, mind you, on your cell phone. And what would you do? And you're taken away from pretty much everybody, and you can't leave this compound until you fulfill the operating system's requirements to find this person. So that one's very, very just obscure, and there's so many layers and there's so much stuff going on. You're just like, what would I do? Because you're just trying to figure out. It's one of the most is the least violent one, and and one of the most human like connectedness of desire. Like you want connection. You're trying to find that person. So it touches on that, like the human condition in that way, and there's like very little violence in it. So I would highly recommend that one. That one's fun. Like it's just you're on this pathway and you have no idea what's about to happen. The next time, and you see these partners together, and you're just like you root for them. So, and then we have Metalhead, which was this post-apocalyptic era thing where I don't want to go into it too much just because I didn't know anything going into Metalhead, and Metalhead was the coolest and just the heart-pumping. If you want an adrenaline-pumping hour, watch Metalhead. You'll be able to do anything after you watch Metalhead. You're just like, oh my god, I don't watch it before bed. Highly recommend that one. It's so crazy, and what I absolutely liked, and it was a great choice on their mark, was making it all black and white. Making it all black and white makes it so much more sinister. There's no vibrance, and it makes it just I think it encapsulates the despair of the area itself, and it just like there's no room to even access colorfulness because everything else is just so life and death. So I really, 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 really liked Metalhead just because it was so raw and scary and just like heart pumping. And then Black Museum is, I would say it's got items inside this museum, and you get 3 or 4 storylines within the museum, and then also inside of the museum itself has a story. So like this one was just so complicated and intricate, and you get immersed into it, and you're just like, there's all of it's based upon consciousness and what actually dignifies a person's life. And so there's a lot of consciousness debate within the Black Mirror universe in season 4 for sure. And this one doesn't let that loose, or doesn't let that go either. Like Black Museum was definitely top 3. I would say USS Callister was amazing. Hang the DJ was also great, and then Black Museum. And Metalhead was just so entertaining. So I would highly recommend season 4 for Black Mirror, and it was just crazy. This is the craziest show I've ever seen. And there's 4 seasons. It's all available on Netflix. I would check out Hang the DJ first before you do anything else. But so do not forget to subscribe. I'm going through each individual Black Mirror episode. And if you want to share this or share it with your friends that also want to hear about Black Mirror, don't forget to do that. You can also subscribe to us on iTunes and on YouTube. So thank you so much for watching. This has been Matthew Benjamin with the American Movie Podcast. Highly, 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 highly recommend the Black Mirror. So until next time, folks, thank you so much for watching again. Bye, bye, bye. Bye, 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 bye.
I've been frozen for 30 years, okay? Throw me a frickin' bone here.
Snap out. What, a hot older woman made you feel her pants? I'm crying.
You don't have the technology.